We think executive teams should be asking themselves 6 questions. The first question is, where's the value flowing? Do I really understand that? It's really hard to beat the momentum. The trend is going to win in the end, so let's understand where those trends are and how they're interplaying with value, which profit pools are shrinking and growing. Let's have a really clear-eyed perspective of when that plays out through our business, what's going to happen.
The second question is, are we ready to put our money where our strategy is? And what we mean by that is, are we ready to reallocate capital? Are we ready to really back the direction that we're taking and look at moving the resources into the right place to make that happen?
The third question is, are you ready to cannibalise yourself? One of the things that can prevent really transformational moves is kind of fear of upsetting the status quo or kind of eating into today's profits. But that kind of long-term focus, if you look at companies that really do successfully change lanes and successfully transition, they seem really willing to be the cannibal rather than the meat.
The fourth question is, are we ready to set the highest aspiration? Are we really ready to set an aspiration that will move us to the top of the power curve, that gets to the full potential of the business, that's really inspiring and also a bit uncomfortable? I mean, if we're not setting an aspiration which is about taking the business to a height that makes us feel a bit nervous, then perhaps it's not high enough. And we find that organisations that take the time to set that right level of bold aspiration in terms of both performance and health are really ready to start to think about going all in on transformation.
The fifth question is, what's it going to take to get the organisation to take this seriously? Think about your own life. When you've changed your life a lot, it's usually a big external shock happen. For me, it was having children. Your life changes radically and you don't have much choice about it. But absent that, change is really difficult. So CEOs and boards and companies often find it easy to make moves when there's an activist at the door or when there's a private equity takeover. But absent of those things, how are you going to build a real sense of conviction and courage to make this move proactively? So what's the process you're going to go through? How are you going to get people on board and to really own that sense of change without it being forced on them necessarily?
Next and final question that we ask is, are you ready for the leadership challenge? I think most CEOs would say that they've been through multiple transformations in their career, but the reality is that CEOs that actually lead a big all-in transformation tend to make a level of commitment that is astronomical. And it's a level of commitment that in many cases is career defining. And so that's about being very public in the organisation about what we can achieve, about what it means to you, about setting aspirations that underwrite that, and then really being out there to take the organisation on a journey that is going to be very visible about whether you've been able to succeed or otherwise.